Hi, all of you. Am I audible to all? Am I audible to all of you? Hi, Piyush. Hello, Dreams Labasna. Oh, that's nice. Shri M82. M82. Okay. Hi, Anamika, Vatsala. You are the enrolled students, isn't it? Fair enough. So we are going live on the YouTube for the first 1 or 2 sessions. Hello, Vishal. Good evening. Good afternoon. So those who are on the YouTube, you also can confirm if I'm streaming fine. Hello, Bhardwaj. Okay, Sachin Kumar. Okay. So happy to have all of you on board today. We are starting off with the Geography Prelims Crash Course. So I will just explain what the intention is. Okay, thereafter, okay, we will progress with the class. Hi, Ujjwal. Hello, Prajwal Yadav, 252. Kuldeep Singh, Deepak Kumar. Okay, all of you. My wishes to all of you. Okay, so how many of you have geography optional? I can see most of you definitely have geography optional. You have been my students. What about the others? Can you confirm if you have geography optional or some other optional? Yes, okay. So we have a mix in that case. That's perfectly fine. And do let me know, YouTube in particular, how many of you are planning to give your prelims this year? Okay, Vishal, yes. Sachin, okay. Kuldeep, yes. Deepak, yes. Hi, good evening. Those on the enrolled panel on the dashboard, yes, I can understand you're giving your prelims. And the others also are giving your prelims 26. So we have Prateek Singh saying no, he's not. Okay, Sachin has sociology optional. Okay, not all of them, Bhardwaj. There will be definitely some non-geography also. Okay, so for all the basics, and you know the subject, the foundation course, polity, the foundation content of economy, the foundation content of geography, the foundation content of science and technology. Typically, what you have done in your classes. The foundation classes touch almost all important topics, even otherwise, which are not asked as frequently. And these foundation classes are more conceptual classes. They're more conceptual in their content, where you have to understand things. But all the concepts are not asked in your prelims or in mains examination. The mains examination and prelim examination, there is select range from which bulk of the questions asked. And there are some topics which are not possible to cover in the class settings. Like say, a good discussion on a world map, a good discussion on India's map, a good discussion on current affairs-based study of geography, which is not possible in your regular foundation class. And unfortunately, those are the topics from which you have the bulk of the questions. Those questions in the prelims, if you look at the range of coverage, you are studying a lot of things in your foundation. And the areas from which the questions are generally asked, they are not as well dealt. So you need a second phase of a preparation. And finally, of course, you go for the tests. So I've seen students, whether you are geography optional students or not, your preparation for the prelims is always a suspect. While you know the concepts, while you know, the ideas, the thought, you know the theories, you know the geographical technical terms, wo pata hota hai. But the typical tuning you require to get into UPSC type of preparation, that tuning is missing. You have to be very selective in studying, and some topics must be studied a bit more intensely. So this crash course is fundamentally about that. In next about 15 sessions, 14, 15 sessions, I'll try to cover all the important topics that I think are important for this year's prelims. Next year prelims, maybe that content might change. Next year prelims, maybe the type of topics might change. Okay, but this year's prelims, I'm keeping in mind based on current affairs, the developments, okay, and so on. Okay, I hope you got the essence here. So my recommendation is all of you who are giving your prelims, irrespective of your optional, whether you have geography or not, this could be a good course for you to revise and tune yourself to UPSC preparation. This could be a good way of quickly focusing on the areas which probably will become difficult if you do on your own. Right? So I think I have introduced what I have in mind. Now, if all of you can see my screen here. So this is the syllabus we have. Okay, which I intend to cover. Are you all able to see my screen? Yeah? Yes, you can, Vatsala? Okay. What about those on the YouTube? Can you all see my screen? So what I have planned is something on these lines. If you look at your topic listing. So we have day 1, say day 14. I might extend for 1 or 2 days more. And typically I have kept the classes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Friday. Today being Wednesday, then we have the next class on Friday, 3 days a week. All the classes will be at 4 p.m. Okay. And what I'm covering are these topics. So today's class, I'll try to cover South Asia, Southeast Asia, Middle East, Central Asia, and I'll see if I can touch some bit of Africa also. There's quite a range of topics I'll try to cover. So my commitment is that I'm planning for 2 hours, but please don't make me nervous if I have to extend a bit more. You're doing some part-time job, you'll take online classes. Yes, you can do that, Bharadwaj, not a problem. If you have some doubts, you can always reach back and ask, no problem. Okay, but whenever possible, do attend the live sessions, because otherwise it becomes tricky. Okay, so these sessions, okay, and all the sessions that I'll cover, these are supported with, they're supported with maps and atlas work. You'll have a lot of map work, you'll have a lot of revision through atlas. Okay, so make sure when I'm studying all of these concepts, whether mountains or basins or rivers, any facts, okay, I will cover with maps and it, because bulk of the questions, if you see in the prelims, are based on maps, okay, geography, current affairs, and so on. So today's objective is this, okay, and tomorrow we'll see. Next class we'll see on Friday what we can do. Any questions still here? Anybody? Any clarifications you seek? Any questions you want? Utkarsh, yes, by and large, it should be enough. Okay, provided, Utkarsh, I presume you have done some bit of geography, right? It's not that you are completely blank. Okay, but this will cover a fair amount of what you need for your prelims. I can't guarantee 100%, but yes, if you have done these classes properly, it should be a good amount of coverage. Yeah, I don't know if you could cover this on your own. Anybody else? Any questions? Any doubts here? Now, all of you, I want you to have a pen, pencil, and you'll draw and sketch, and you'll also have an atlas. Can you all assure me you have all that with you? Your atlas, your pen, pencil, notes, okay, some bit of blank pages, yeah? Okay, then. So let's get started in that case. Let's get started. So I'm starting with Southeast Asia. By the way, let me clarify one thing to all of you, that my approach will not be covering everything. My approach will be, I'll focus on what I think is important for this year. Kaushik, it is a separate course completely. So PSP students must enroll on this. As a PSP student, you have a discount. Okay, but it's a separate course, you must enroll. Some of them have enrolled, others you will take a call. Okay, so let's start off now. Okay, so if you all can see the screen of mine. No. The YouTube classes are just 1 or 2 days to give an idea about what I'll cover. All the classes can't be on the YouTube. You have to join the classes, Ajay, eventually. Sharia, you also have to join the classes. Pehle ek do classes so that you can have an idea about what I will teach. But you have to enroll into the courses. Okay, so we start off now, right? So here we go. I'm starting with Thailand and Cambodia. And in this, I'll cover some bit of other Southeast Asia also. Why Thailand and Cambodia? Because a lot is happening here. There have been conflicts. There have been issues related to almost a war. A lot of migration problems. There are some issues around drugs, etc. Yes. So, isko focus mein rakhe, I'll do a bit of Southeast Asia also. So here we go. So when I say Southeast Asia, we also include Philippines, we also include Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan. Also, some of us can include a Southeast Asia, although it can also be part of East Asia, and Brunei. But I am focusing on the land part. Okay, I'm ignoring the other islands for now. I'm focusing on this land part. Now, see, when you are doing maps, when we do the maps, you must have a range of questions you can ask. Okay, so the mainland, so you can keep on jotting here. When I say Southeast Asia, the mainland, Southeast Asia, it includes what countries? You can include Myanmar, although some may also include Myanmar as part of South Asia. Myanmar, we have Thailand, we have Cambodia, we have Laos, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Okay, these 5 countries or 6 countries make up the Southeast Asia ka mainland. Whereas islands of Indonesia, we have Brunei, we have Philippines, we have Singapore. This I'm leaving out for now. I'm focusing on this. Now, in this, you first notice what are the water bodies. What are the water bodies? So we have Gulf of Tonkin. Okay, this is a very important water body if you're looking at the problems of Southeast Asia. Have you all heard about something called as the 9-dash line? जो conflict है South China Sea का. Okay, that's the Gulf of Tonkin. Historically, it was acknowledged as the domain of Vietnam. They considered Gulf of Tonkin as a part of the internal waters and the part of the EEZ of Vietnam. But now Gulf of Tonkin partly is also claimed by China. So 9-dash line mein Gulf of Tonkin bhi add kiya hai, although China and Vietnam keep having arguments on this. By and large, China says, okay, Gulf of Tonkin belongs to Vietnam, but we also have some rights because we are the littoral. So no Gulf of Tonkin. Looking the western side, we have Andaman Sea. Okay, so apne notes mein write down number 1, that what are the countries of the mainland Southeast Asia. So Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Okay, these are the 6 countries. And around this, what are the water bodies? What water bodies include? Gulf of Tonkin. And remember, Gulf of Tonkin majorly is Vietnam waters. Plus, we also have a small part, okay, of China also. Gulf of Tonkin. Gulf of Tonkin is an inlet of South China Sea. Okay, then we have South China Sea here. Okay, we have the Gulf of Thailand, and we have the Andaman Sea. And this is the state of Malacca. The choke point that is always in news between the Malay Peninsula. This is the Malay Peninsula, and this is the Sumatra island of Indonesia. इनके बीच में है state of Malacca. Okay. Have you written these points down, all of you? Just jot down quickly. Okay. No questions beyond what I am teaching. Okay, ये discussion नहीं चल रहा है. I am teaching you, just note down. I am teaching geography, map work. Okay, some I will tell you stories, others आप लिखते रहो. अच्छा, does anybody know? Have you heard about this river called as Irrawaddy River? I've heard of river called as Salween River. Yeah, Salween and Irrawaddy. They are 2 very important rivers of Myanmar. Then we can see a river called as Mekong here. Mekong is the longest river of Southeast Asia. Yeah, Myanmar. So this is the Mekong River goes like this is of Mekong. And this river, anybody knows what is this river here? This river is Am I audible to all of you now? Am I audible now to all of you? बीच में Okay, I'll do that, Utkarsh. Let me just confirm. This morning, we have had a lot of power cuts in ORN. So the, internet keeps on switching back and forth. Now it's clear? I'll do that. Now it's clear? Okay. अच्छा, ठीक है. I am repeating. Okay, so Look at the rivers here. Okay, so we have one river called Irrawaddy River here. Irrawaddy River. This is the Salween River. Okay, this is the Mekong River, and this river here. Okay, this river here is called as Changjiang River. It's called as Changjiang River. The older name of this was Yangtze Kiang. Yangtze Kiang River. What I'm discussing here is this part here, this part of Chinese highlands, from where we have rivers coming. We have got 4 big rivers coming from here. We have Irrawaddy River, we have Salween River, we have Mekong River, and we have Changjiang River. So Irrawaddy River, we have Salween River, we have Mekong River, and we have Changjiang River. 4 big rivers. And of these big rivers, Changjiang River is China, entirely in China. Mekong River is the longest river of Southeast Asia. ये जो मैंने trace किया है, this is the Mekong River, the longest river of Southeast Asia. It comes and drains into parts of Vietnam southern coast. Do you know what was this city here, Ho Chi Minh City? This is in the delta of Mekong River. Do you know what was the old name of this river, this city? Anybody knows the old name of this city? Saigon. Yes, Utkarsh. This city is what was Saigon. A very important city, southern part, which has importance in the Vietnam War. The US troops, the European troops, they were controlling the southern part, whereas Russia and China, they controlled from the north. And this north-south ki wajah se we had the Vietnam War, infamous Vietnam War. Now, then my question to you is, so now you know Gulf of Tonkin, you know Gulf of Thailand, Andaman Sea. What is this water body called? Anybody know this water body here? There's one name here. Salween River and part of the Irrawaddy River drains this water body here. This water body is called as Gulf of Martaban. Gulf of Martaban. Okay, so what are the water bodies around the Southeast Asia mainland? The water bodies are, ये आपको मैं लिखा है यहाँ पर देखो, Andaman Sea, Gulf of Thailand, Gulf of Tonkin, the Gulf of Martaban, and South China Sea. ठीक है, all of you fine? Yes, Vishal, correct. Okay, and the rivers I have talked about Irrawaddy River, I have talked about Mekong River, I have talked about Salween River. इसके अलावा 2 और river है. One is called as Chao Phraya River and Hong Ha and Song Da River. Okay, Menam. This is also called as Menam Chao Phraya. Menam Chao Phraya. This is one of the big rivers of Thailand. And this river here, Hong Ha and Song Da, this river is the river in, again, North Vietnam. It's a river in North Vietnam. Did you all write down these names? All of you done? What are the water bodies, mainland Southeast Asia? And what are the important rivers? I'll show you where the rivers are. Can I move on from here? So I've discussed what are the countries. I've discussed what are the water bodies. I've discussed what are the rivers. Those enrolled with me, you'll get these as post-class PDF also. If the maps जो हैं हम आपको पकड़ा देंगे, you can revise, but keep jotting as I speak. YouTube guys, I'm sorry, I don't know how you will manage. I will not give any material to you. Okay, but enrolled students, you will get material. You keep listening to me and keep jotting whatever you can jot. Okay, fine. Let's move on then. So now, while we're discussing the countries, in these countries, do you see one thing? That Thailand is one country. एक ऐसा country Thailand है, which has borders with all the Southeast Asian countries except Vietnam. So that's how we, study the maps. Thailand has a border with Malaysia. Thailand has a border with Cambodia, border with Laos, border with Burma or Myanmar. It does not have a border with Vietnam. And Thailand doesn't have islands also, as a part of South China Sea. So this is important observation. Thailand has one of the longest borders that we have in Southeast Asia. And it has borders with all the countries except Thailand, except Vietnam. So that's one important observation. The next important observation is Thailand as a country, and even you can also add Malaysia and Indonesia. These three countries have coast on both the oceans. This is the Pacific Ocean side, and this is the Indian Ocean side. So if you look at Thailand, Thailand has borders with all the Southeast Asian countries except Vietnam. I'm talking about the mainland. Thailand and Malaysia. You can also add Indonesia. They have coasts on the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Just observe this, as a part of your discussion. And in these countries, Laos is a landlocked country. Laos is landlocked country. And lot of boundaries is also determined by River Mekong. Yahan dekho aap. River Mekong is a boundary between Myanmar and Laos. River Mekong is a border between Thailand and Laos. River Mekong, passes through Cambodia, and into Vietnam. So Mekong is also one of the border demarcation bases. So remember this, Mekong is a boundary between Myanmar and Laos, Thailand and Laos. And it drains through, China, part of Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. It passes through 6 countries. China, so Mekong River, Mekong River drains 6 countries. All of you, are you jotting down as I speak? Map rahega, but you have to keep on jotting as I speak. Mekong is passing through 6 countries. And borders kis ka hai? You have a border here between Laos and Myanmar. We have a border Laos and Thailand. But it passes through Cambodia and passes through and drains in Vietnam. Now, if you look at the cities, look at the capital cities here. Look at the capital cities. So we have capital city. Of course, यहाँ पर Mandalay लिखा है. It should have been the new city, which is called as Naypyidaw. The capital of Myanmar is the city called as Naypyidaw. Naypyidaw, or Napy in some cases, Naypyidaw. So look at Naypyidaw, Bangkok, we have Phnom Penh, we have Hanoi, and we have this Vientiane or Miantine. These are the capital. And of course, you have got Kuala Lumpur. Now, in this observation, realize that ports, okay, Hanoi is not a port, Kuala Lumpur is not a port, and Phnom Penh, okay, is a port but on a river. So Phnom Penh is a port, okay. Bangkok is also a port, but Kuala Lumpur, Hanoi, these are not ports. Hanoi is not a port. Kuala Lumpur is not a port. Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, is a port, but it is on river Mekong. Okay. Vientiane landlocked है, वो port नहीं है. Vientiane, this is also not a port. And even Naypyidaw is not a port. So if you look at the boundaries here, the main ports are Bangkok as a port, okay, but Bangkok is a riverine port. Bangkok is a riverine port. Riverine port का मतलब क्या है? It's on the river. The river's name is Menam Chao Phraya. The river's name is Menam Chao Phraya is the river on which Bangkok is not a coastal port, it's a riverine port. And Phnom Penh, this also is a port on the river Mekong. And the port of Hanoi यहाँ पर है, Hanoi के साथ में, this city is the port. Haiphong is the port of Hanoi. And Kuala Lumpur का port है, it's called as Port Klang. Port Klang and Haiphong port, these two ports, they serve the capital cities. ठीक है? So दो ही port यहाँ पर हैं, Bangkok as a port and Phnom Penh as a port. So fair idea about the countries, the borders, the rivers, the ports, and the seas, inlets, whatever. Now this is a map of the rivers, okay, of Thailand. This is the Chao Phraya River. Chao Phraya River, this is not a tributary of Mekong. This is not a tributary of river Mekong. It is a separate river. River Mekong जो है, this is river Mekong here. This is river Mekong. It comes down like this. So Menam Chao Phraya is a separate river on the mouth of which we have Bangkok. Bangkok is a port on Menam Chao Phraya. And एक river, ये बहुत बड़ा river है, one a very important river of Mekong is river Moon, M-U-N, Moon. Moon River is a tributary of Mekong River. Okay, so now you have the names of the rivers. You know now Irrawaddy River. You know now Salween River. I have mentioned a river called as Chao Phraya River. Okay, we also have the Mekong River. The Mekong River's one tributary is called as a river Moon River. Okay, इसके अलावा there are rivers of Vietnam. जो Hanoi city है ना, the city called as Hanoi. Hanoi is the capital of Vietnam. Hanoi is on a river, okay, system which is Song Da and Hong Ha. There are two rivers, they join together and form one common river. Song Da river, इसको Black river भी बोलते हैं, and Hong Ha river को Red river भी बोलते हैं. Okay, so look at this map here. This is Vietnam. So this is the Red River. Okay, Hong Ha. And this is the Black River. Songda. Okay, they come and join, and we have Hanoi on the river system. But Hanoi is not a port. Hanoi is a port. Okay, so in the list of your rivers, we also add these two rivers also, Hongha and Songda. So city of Hanoi is on Hongha, Songda. In the mouth of these two rivers, ये जो mouth area है, this mouth is a delta called as the Red Delta. Okay, and this river, ये जो water body है, this water body is the Gulf of Tonkin. Gulf of Tonkin. Yeah, Hanoi is not a port, Anushka. Hanoi is not a port. G717, you have given interview. I think you must give your prelims. Okay, interview देने के बाद में prelims is fairly in control. It's not that you miss out. So give your prelims is my suggestion. Okay, all keeping pace with me. All keeping pace with me is Southeast Asia. Yeah, can you all confirm? Yes. Okay, now look at the mountains. Okay, so we have one mountain here, the Thai Highlands. We have a plateau called as Korath Plateau. We have a mountain called as Dangrek Mountains. Okay, और नीचे यहाँ पर there is a mountain here. It's called as Tenasserim Range. Tenasserim Range. And we have some mountains here in Vietnam. This is called as Annamite Mountains. So Southeast Asia, these are the bigger highlands and mountains. Okay, Thai Highlands are extensions of Myanmar. Myanmar के यहाँ पर एक plateau है called as the Shan Plateau. The Shan Plateau extend as Thai Highlands. Okay, Korath Plateau is partly in Thailand. It extends a bit towards Laos also. Korath Plateau is a dry region. Dangrek Mountains. There's one important mountain range here. This is called as Tenasserim Range here. And if you can see this one here, I do not know if you can visible or not. Ye dekho. Okay. This is Annamitic or Annamite range. Ye Vietnam mein hai. Okay. Annamite, a chain, a mountain chain hai. Annamite mountain chain. Now, in the Dangrek mountain, this is in news. This is where we have the Thailand-Cambodia conflict. That temple that they're fighting for is on the Dangrek mountain. Dangrek mountain is one of the watersheds here. Okay, so Thailand, this part of Thailand is largely mountainous, and this is like a basin. Okay, Cambodia का ये बहुत बड़ा lake है, like a basin. So you can imagine if I draw the diagram here, Thailand is like this. Where you have a basin of Cambodia, and this is where we have this big lake called as Tonle Sap Lake. और यहाँ पर जो mountain है, this mountain is called as Dangrek Mountains. हाँ Sachin, वो Myanmar का part, come back here. But did you get a hang of this map here, all of you? Anushka, okay. What did you miss? Okay, so we have Thai Highlands, extensions of a plateau of Myanmar called as Shan Plateau. Shan Plateau becomes Thai Highlands. Then we have Korath Plateau, okay, part of Thailand and also part of Laos, thoda sa, but mainly in Thailand. ये Dangrek news में है, okay, because this is where that temple जो झगड़ा हो रहा था, Petverar temple. This is at the boundary of Cambodia and Thailand. ये mountain है Dangrek Mountains. And Cambodia is like a basin. Like a basin, it has a lake. The lake is called as Tonle Sap. इस पे questions पूछे गए. It's a very important part of Cambodia's economy. So Tonle Sap एक lake है. And this lake is on the river Mekong. So river Mekong comes down like this and water accumulates here. Okay, tributaries hai, Mekong comes here, okay, and it comes and drains here. So this is part of that basin. Cambodia ka basin hai, and this is a lake called as Tonle Sap. Okay. So Dangrek Mountains, Korath Plateau, Tenasserim Range. Anybody knows what is this strip of land called as? What is this strip of land called as? Anybody knows this? This strip of land, this is called as Kra Isthmus. Isthmus of Kra. Okay, of Kra Isthmus, we have this range called as Tenasserim Range. And then comes towards Malaysia. Okay, so Dangrek Mountains, Korath Plateau, Tenasserim Range, Chin Hills is further westwards, Annam Mountains of Vietnam. Right? So you wanted to know about the, highlands here there. Okay, so यहाँ पर Shan Highlands है. Okay, I've told this to you already. So this is that region of Myanmar. Myanmar, ये Thailand है. Myanmar, you can see this Shan Plateau here. This is the Shan Plateau. The Shan Plateau becomes highlands here called as Thai Highlands. Okay, and this also is a very important highland region, Chin Mountains or Chin Highlands. I'm talking about Arakan Yoma, Pegu Yoma. Okay, this is Arakan Yoma here, and Pegu Yoma will be a bit more here. Arakan Yoma, so you can see this map here. Uh-oh, what happened? Just a minute, please. Yeah. So here we have the Arakan Yoma Hills. Yes, Kaushik. One of the tributaries of Mekong River feeds Tonle Sap, correct. Arakan Yoma, Pegu Yoma, Chin Hills here, or Shan Plateau here. Okay. यहाँ पर there are tribes called as Chin tribes. They have a lot of relationship with Manipur, Chin tribes. Shan maybe tribes हैं, Shan tribes. Okay. You see Bailatung range, it is one extension of Tenasserim range. But you had to know Chin Hills, Arakan Yoma, Pegu Yoma, Shan Plateau. Okay, and on this page, I've shown you Thai Highlands, Korath Plateau, Dangrek Mountains, and here I've shown you Tenasserim Range, and somewhere here you have Annam Range. Yes, Utkarsh, yes. Chin, Shans, यहाँ पर, in Myanmar, I'll talk about that next. There are tribes here. You can see these tribes here, the Kachin state, Shan state, Chin state. Okay, we have the Sagaing state. So यहाँ पर the tribes, local tribes are fighting. So we have some tribes in conflicts, like the Chin tribes. The name of the highlands are on the tribe's name, Chin tribes. We have the Shan Plateau. We have Karen tribes. We have Kachin tribes. So they are, okay, in constant conflict. It's like a civil war going on in Myanmar. Okay? So I've shown this here. Okay, what are the tribes and what are they fighting for? The Thailand regions में. Okay, so ये Thailand का map है. Okay, ये जो part है, this part here, this is the cultural heart in some ways. this part of Thailand is the Thai population. Thai population. On the western side, ye wale part, you have got Karen population. And this green part here, these are people called as Khamers. Khamer are an ethnic group of Cambodia. Lot of fight of that border, okay, between yahan par Cambodia hai. This is Cambodia, this is Thailand. Lot of conflict are because this Khamer and Thai population, they are fighting. There's an ethnic fight that also has a problem of proper country war. Okay, so what are the tribes? Okay, so देखो ये question पूछ रहा है, they're asking countries and which tribe is where they end up asking. So Khamer, the news में, Khamer tribes are in news. Okay, Karens are in news because of conflicts. Okay, so no, Khamer is largely Cambodia. In fact, Khamer kingdom tha. Cambodia was part of this big kingdom called as Khamer Kingdom, Khmer. It's an ethnic group. Mountains of Myanmar. Okay, here are the mountains of Myanmar. Pritha. All good, all of you? So this is the map of the conflicts. Okay, so this is the Cambodia region here. This is Cambodia here. And this is the conflict zone. And this conflict zone has, which mountain did I mention right now? Yahan par kaun sa mountain hai? This is the temple. Okay, Priyavir temple is the Shivite temple. Yeah, Dangrek mountains, correct. Yahan par you have got Dangrek mountains, correct. And the conflict includes the fight between the Thais versus the Khamers. All good? Okay, I'm moving on. So fine, this is not much to add here. I'm just telling you about the Shan plateau and the Shan tribes also have fought. Okay, this is, you know this now. A bit about Cambodia. Yes, Vishal, Kaushik, correct. A bit about Cambodia now. So Cambodia, if you see this, I mentioned, मैंने बताया, Tonle Sap is a very important lake. Tonle Sap is the lake. This is the main Mekong River. We have a tributary of Mekong River, okay, that comes from Tonle Sap, and this is almost like a economic center of Cambodia. Okay, it's very important in economy. और ऊपर है Dangrek, यहाँ पे लिखा है Dangret Mountains, fine, ठीक. Okay, this is the location of Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is again a famous temple that was discovered. Okay, it was lost in the forest. Angkor Wat temple, और यहाँ पर है Prelims temple here. You have some idea about the Cambodia now? Phnom Penh capital. Capital is on Mekong. So you can quickly jot these points down. Okay, Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar, I've covered. Okay, in fact, the ICJ, International Court of Justice, they had ruled that the temple belongs to Cambodia, but they did not tell us about the land. Okay, land actually Thailand ka hai. Okay, and so the temple is somewhere here. It is in the Thailand side, but they say temple belongs to Cambodia. I do not know what was the logic of saying that. Historical logic hi hoga. Okay, this part is in the news. Ethnic group, I said, Cambodia, the major ethnic group are Khamers. Okay, Khamers make up the bulk of Cambodia. So they do ask you question about which tribe is in which country, match the following types. Okay, you remember Khamer. Khamers, okay, is majorly Cambodia. Okay, so you know the countries, you know the water bodies, you know the rivers, you know the cities and the ports, you know the mountains, and you know the people of Southeast Asia mainland. This will be assignment back in your room. Quickly fill up whatever you can. Okay? You must fill up whatever you countries ka listing karo, 6 countries, water bodies, Gulf of Tonkin, South China Sea, Gulf of Thailand, State of Malacca, Andaman Sea, the Gulf of Martaban, okay. Rivers, Mekong River, Moon River, Menam Chao River, Salween River, Irrawaddy River. Okay. Plus Tonle Sap is the important lake. Cities and ports, capital cities, mountains, and the people. Yeah, anybody else? Any questions on this you want to ask me? I'm done with Southeast Asia. With current affairs, jo news mein hai. Okay, you have the map work also. Is this working for all of you? Are you all able to manage the pace? Because if I go slower, I can't cover many things. Temple you do not know, beta. Kafi news mein raha hai temple. Here, Previyar temple. Previyar temple. This is a Shiva temple. Okay, and Angkor Wat bhi important temple yahan par hai. Angkor Wat is somewhere here. ठीक है? Southeast Asia is manageable? Okay. Let's move on. The next we'll do is China, okay, and South China Sea. China and South China Sea, okay? So again, look at this map quickly. China has borders with 14 countries, land border. Okay, and China and Russia together, it's like a highest number of borders. Both of them have 14 countries. देखो इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान, नेपाल, भूटान, म्यांमार, लाओस, वियतनाम, मंगोलिया, रशिया, okay, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and North Korea. Okay, and this map you must study a bit more. Is here. देखो किर्गिस्तान एक कंट्री आप मिस नहीं करना. Okay, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, okay, Pakistan. Okay, of course Pakistan. One reason because it has the POK part. Okay, so you can consider that if you want to. And we have on this side we have Nepal, we have Bhutan. नेपाल, भूटान, इंडिया तो है ही, म्यांमार, ओके, एंड यहाँ पर बॉर्डर्स विथ वियतनाम, लाओस, थाईलैंड. सो मेनलैंड के ऑल कंट्रीज एक्सेप्ट मलेशिया एंड कंबोडिया. ओके, सो इफ आई कंपेयर विथ साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, रशिया does not have, sorry, China, not Russia. I was doing China. China does not have borders with okay, Cambodia, and with Malaysia. ठीक है? So 14 countries याद रहेगा, I believe all of you. 14 countries, and these are the names you might forget. It does not have a border with Uzbekistan. उज्बेकिस्तान देखो यहां पर, it has a border with Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan. It does not have a border with Uzbekistan. Yes, yes, Utkarsh, yes, Cambodia, Malaysia, oh, I said and then I forgot, yes, and Thailand. Correct, thank you, thank you. So this, it does not have a border with uh, Uzbekistan. It does not have a border with uh, Turkmenistan. Okay. All the other stans, it has a border with. Okay, fair enough, all of you. Border with Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now look at the water bodies. Okay, water bodies around. So you all now know about, okay, yahan par, this is the Gulf of Tonkin. Okay, this is South China Sea. This is the Yellow Sea. Okay, Yellow Sea, and this water body here inside is called as the Gulf of Bohai. It's called as Gulf of Bohai. And this is called as Taiwan Strait. So what are the water bodies around China? Okay, the south mein, this is Gulf of Tonkin. Gulf of Tonkin. We have South China Sea. This is the East China Sea, Yellow Sea, and Gulf of Bohai. Yaad rahega Gulf of Bohai. This is the Taiwan Strait. What are the water bodies? Okay. What are the water bodies around China? Around China. ठीक है? Next. हाँ लिख लो. Okay, you have, I said, this is the Gulf of Bohai, South China Sea, Taiwan Strait. This is the East China Sea. Okay, Yellow Sea, and then we have Gulf of Bohai. Can you tell me, आप बताओ, does China have a coast along Sea of Japan? Does China have a coast along Sea of Japan? Anybody can answer? आप Atlas देके answer करो. See the Atlas and answer. Let's see. Does it have a coast along Sea of Japan? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a long Sea of Japan. ठीक है? So water bodies, mountains में, okay. So I'm giving you these mountains here. Anushka, that's largely your Japan. South Korea, Japan है, और North Korea है. Sea of Japan पे नहीं. Okay. So watch here. This is Himalayas. There's a big mountain range called as Kulun Shan Mountains. Okay. Then we have this mountain called as Tien Shan Mountains. Tien Shan Mountains. Then iska extension is Altun Shan Mountains. Okay. These are the big mountain range, and this is the Tibetan Plateau. This is a basin called as Tarim Basin with a desert called as Taklamakan Desert. Okay, so if I draw these maps here, so this is the Pamir Snot, ये Himalayas है. Then this is Kulun Shan. This is Tien Shan, and this is Altun Shan. Altun Shan. This is Kullun Shan. This is Himalayas. This is Tien Shan. And this is Tibet Plateau. And this is a basin called as Tarim Basin. And the Tarim Basin has a desert called as Takla Makan Desert. Okay. Is this diagram fine, all of you? These highlands here, they are called as the Pamirs. The Pamirs. आप और नॉर्थ जाओगे तो यहां पर एक माउंटेन है मंगोलिया चाइना के बॉर्डर में कॉल्ड एज अल्ताई माउंटेन्स. Altai Mountains. North of this is the country of Mongolia. Draw this, Utkarsh. There is no magic. आप इसको draw करोगे याद रहेगा. Draw this sketch. Okay. So this I have drawn as Himalayas. Draw this as Kunlun Shan. Okay. This is Tien Shan. Tien Shan ka extension is Altun Shan and Altai. If you don't sketch, you'll not remember. Himalayas, Kunlun Shan. This is Tien Shan. This is Altun Shan. This is the Altai Mountains. No, Anushka, there's nothing different here. आप कुछ मिस कर रहे हो. ये तो है डायग्राम. Okay, this is Himalayas, Kunlun Shan, Altun Shan. This is Tien Shan. और ऊपर नॉर्थ में यहां पर है Altai Mountains. Not extension. Okay, Altun, Altin. Okay, there is Qinghai Mountains. ठीक है. So you go with this, no problem. There is the Altin Mountain, Qinghai Mountains. Qinghai Mountains भी हैं. Okay, get a hang of this. All done with this? So these are the main mountain ranges here. Okay. Rivers mein, you remember 3 rivers of China, the 3 big rivers. Okay. One river is here. Okay. So this is Wanghe River. This is one river. A very big river is this one, like this. And you have a smaller river, okay, somewhere here. ये 3 main river है. Plus you also have a river Amur, which becomes a border of China and Russia. This is river Amur. Okay, so this Changzhang River is the Yangtze River. The Wanghe River is the Yellow River. So south to north. ये एकदम साउथ में है the Pearl River. Okay, or okay, also called as Shijiang River or Sikyang River. Okay, abhi no concepts, Anushka. We just move on. Okay, all the continentality effects. The Klamakan Desert is continentality. Okay, every basin. Why are you assuming the basin will have water? The basins can also be dry. The Great Basin of US is also dry. Okay, so what are the rivers? Okay, or Changzhang River, may you have the 3 gorges dam. It says Yangtze River, or also called as Changjiang River. Okay, Mekong River, you have seen, it goes down. This is the river Mekong, like this. Okay, so what are the main rivers? Rivers, one is Wang He River, also called as the Yellow River. We have Changjiang River. We have a Sikyang River, also called as the Pearl River. Ekdam north में there's Amur River, the border of China and Russia. Or south में you also have the Mekong River. These are the main rivers of China. सब याद जरूरत नहीं है. You must remember the more popular ones, which are in news. So this south wala, ये जो south दिख रहा है ना, this is the Pearl River or the Sikyang River. Sikyang River, this big one is Changjiang River, ये longest river, biggest river है. This is Wangho or Yellow River, or north में we have the Amur River. ठीक है, and of course this is the Mekong River down south. Okay, and in this Changjiang River is the longest river. It also has the 3 gorges dam. All good? China के water bodies क्या हैं? China's around countries क्या हैं? China has what mountains, and China, what are the rivers? Now, कुछ places are in news, okay? So Uyghurs are one ethnic group. This part of China is the troublesome part of China, the Xinjiang region. Or they're also write as Xinjiang region. This is the Tibetan region. This area is called as Manchuria region. Manchuria. Okay, so Uyghurs, these are in the western part of China. This northern part, यहाँ पर Mongols हैं. And much of China are what's called as the Han populations. Okay. These are those sub classifications. This is the Han population. Han population, they are the dominant groups. They make up 90% of the population. Uyghurs are Turkic Muslim groups in the Xinjiang or Xinjiang region. One of the biggest minority groups are the Zhuang. So they do ask you these groups and where they are. Okay, Uyghurs are in the western side. Ye Uyghurs wala part. Western side of China has Uyghurs. They have relationship with, ethnicity with the Central Asia. They are not like the Han Chinese. यहाँ पर बहुत issues हैं, allegations of human rights and all of that. Fine, all of you. No, guys, online guys, I'm sorry, I can't give you all these documents. But the offline, sorry, the YouTube wala ko nahi milega. Those enrolled, you'll get some of these documents also. Don't worry, I'll give you these documents. Okay, you just have to listen to me once and start getting familiar with these places. Now come to South China Sea region. Okay, South China Sea. This is Gulf of Tonkin. This area is South China Sea. Know the location of the islands: Paracel Islands, Scarborough Shoal, the Spratlys Islands. ये disputed है. And this is the shape of the 9-dash line. ठीक है? And if you see this map here, इसमें कुछ claims हैं. Okay. So China has a very big, this is the 9-dashed line. This is the claim of China. China के बाद में, the big claim is of Vietnam. Vietnam claims this part. Okay, so this is Vietnam's claim. Then we have Malaysia's claim. ये Malaysia का ये claim है और Malaysia का ये claim है. Others are smaller ones. Of course, we also have Philippines. But if you look at South China Sea, the biggest claim of South China Sea China का है. उसके बाद वियतनाम का है. उसके बाद मलेशिया का है. Malaysia and the Philippines, they are fairly comparable claims. Did you write down these three name of islands or disputed islands? Paracel Islands, Spratlys Islands, and Scarborough Shoal. Okay, Spratlys are further south. ये south में. No, Hainan has no dispute. Hainan is a Chinese island. You must know the difference between Hainan and Taiwan. Hainan, Taiwan के बीच में Hong Kong है. Okay, so Taiwan is north of Hainan. The Tropic of Cancer passes through Taiwan, not Hainan. If you look at this map here, ये देखो. This is the Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer ऐसे है. It passes through Taiwan and Hainan's नीचे. Did you all note down this difference? तो कहां पर mistake होगा? Mistake होगा in these islands: Hainan, Taiwan, Paracel Island, Scarborough Reefs, and Spratlys. Hong Kong is almost midpoint between Taiwan and Hainan. This is Hong Kong. इन दोनों के बीच में. Yeah, tell me. Is this fine, all of you? Is South China Sea good, all of you? Fine? I have this one diagram of the Maritime Silk Route and the BRI. Nothing to teach here. This orangish line is the BRI, okay, and the so-called Silk Route, the new Silk Route. The old Silk Route would pass through Africa also. Okay, this blue line is the Maritime Silk Route that China is developing. And this is the CPEC corridor. This is the CPEC corridor. Okay, this for sake of completion, that's about China and South China Sea. So again, for China, I've discussed what are the bordering countries. I discussed what are the water bodies around China. We discussed the mountains and the basins of China. We discussed the rivers of China. Okay. We have discussed the south China Sea ka map. Can you all recall this now? I will want all of you to, not quit from here. Yahin se you please sit down and do some jottings, ताकि आप you can recall what are the border countries. I said 14 countries are border countries. Uzbekistan does not have a border. Okay, you don't have a border with Turkmenistan. We don't have a border with Thailand. We don't have a border with Cambodia. We don't have a border with Malaysia. China doesn't have a border. Water bodies, Gulf of Bohai, okay, where is East China Sea, South China Sea, the Gulf of Tonkin. What are water bodies? Mountains, Kulun Shan, Himalayas, Tian Shan, Altai Mountains, Altan Shan Mountains, Tarim Basin. The rivers, Mekong River, okay, Sikyang River, Changjiang River, Wanghe River, Amur River, and the South China Sea disputes. Can you all give a go ahead? You're good with this part here? Yeah, all of you? Online, offline? Offline to hai nahi, sorry. Online and YouTube students. I can move on? I can move on? Okay, take it. So I'm done with this. Next, we will take up Iran. Vikrant, out of 15 classes, 4 or 5 classes will be taken by Ajay sir. The rest I will be taking. Okay. That's Iran. The काफी news में है Iran, so you better know this well. Okay. Now look at the bordering countries of Iran. Iran ka shape. Okay. Iran bordering countries. If I go sequentially, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan. Uzbekistan doesn't have a border. Okay. Azerbaijan has a border. Okay. यहाँ पर year लिखा है. Can you tell me what country is this one? Anybody knows the country here? This country is Azerbaijan. What country is this? Anybody can tell me? Turkey has a border. Syria doesn't have a border. Iraq has a border. Yeah, this is Armenia, correct. Armenia's capital is Yerevan. Azerbaijan's capital is Baku. No, Georgia is further north, Utkarsh. Georgia or north mein. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, this is Georgia, somewhere here. Black Sea here, ye Georgia. Georgia, this is Armenia. This is Azerbaijan. So what you must notice is Kuwait does not have a border. It's छोटा country Kuwait है. Kuwait का border नहीं है with Iran. It's very close by, but no border. Kuwait has no border. Okay. Saudi Arabia has no land border. Okay. Qatar, UAE, Oman. Of these countries, can you tell me which are the Arab countries? Anybody can tell me? Which are the Arab countries? Nobody knows? Which are the Arab countries? Iraq, yes. Iraq is the only Arab country with which Iran has a border. Turkmenistan is not Arab. Afghanistan are not Arabs. Arab as in they speak Arabic. Turkey is not Arabic. Okay. Azeris are not Arabic. They have their own language, Azeri, Armenian. Okay. Syria is Arabs. Iraq is Arab. Saudi Arabia is Arab. Qatar and all of these are Arabs. The only Arab nation with which Iran has a border is Iraq. In fact, it has the longest border with Iraq. ये है longest border with Iraq. ठीक है, याद रहा आपको? Okay, Pakistan, Afghanistan, not Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, okay, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey, Iraq. See, in map work, you must remember, okay, with the pictorial thing in your mind. Otherwise, you only by hearting mechanically. Okay, mechanical by heart नहीं करना है, आपको pictorial, mental में वो image बनना चाहिए. So if I ask you, what are the countries around Iran? You should mentally, okay, recall. We have got Pakistan, we have Afghanistan, we have part of your Armenia, Azerbaijan, we have Turkey, we have Iraq. Okay, so you recall that ways. Uzbekistan does not have a border. Okay, Syria doesn't have a border. Arab countries have maritime borders with Saudi Arabia. You have Qatar here, UAE here, Oman here, and so on. Okay, so that's one fact. Okay, what are the water bodies? ऊपर Caspian Sea है water body. We have Gulf of Oman is a water body, and the Persian Gulf is the water body. Three large seas. One of them is the inland sea. Caspian Sea is an inland sea. Okay, so Caspian Sea, Persian Gulf, Gulf of Oman, और इससे link करके we also have the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, this passage is called as the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz links Gulf of Oman with Persian Gulf. This is the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, all of you done? You must keep letting me know you are maintaining the pace and jotting down as I'm speaking. Some of the facts are already here. When you get the documents, some of the facts आपको मिल जाएगा. But एक बार pictorially याद करो. Houthis, no, Houthis are not here. Houthis are on the other side. Houthis are on the Red Sea side, not Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz में तो countries है ना. Houthis are in Yemen, उत्कर्ष. यहाँ पर येमेन का थोड़ी बॉर्डर है. यहाँ पर तो ओमान का बॉर्डर है और यूएई का बॉर्डर है. Anybody knows what this peninsula? अच्छा ठीक है, बाद देखते हैं. चलो छोड़ो, जाने दो. Let's not confuse you. Okay, now come here. The mountains. Okay, so mountains में we have this Elburz mountains north में. Okay, south में है Zagros mountains. Elburz mountains north and Zagros mountains in the south. And the highest peak of Elburz mountains is Mount Damavand. Mount Damavand, yeah, Mount Damavand is highest peak of Iran. Okay, Mount Damavand. So I always remember this as EZ. Okay, हमेशा गड़बड़ होता था कि नॉर्थ में कौन सा है, साउथ में कौन सा है. I used to make a mistake. So somehow it registered EZ. E is Elburz north में, Zagros Z south में. Okay, that's why Iran is like a fortress from the land. You cannot cross this mountain, Elburz mountains. You can't cross these mountains. और ये पूरा deserts है. Desert. Water body has lot of Iranian ships, submarines. Okay, so Iran is like a fortress. यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा gap है, okay, यहाँ पर enter करने के लिए, but it's not a very easy gap. The Mongols attacked through this gap. That's why when Israel is attacking or USA attacks, okay, ये सब air attacks होते हैं. Like it's impossible to attack Iran on the land. You can't enter. You can't cross the mountains. It's difficult. Okay, so Elburz Mountains in the north and Zagros Mountains in the south, and there is Mount Damavan, the highest peak of Iran. The highest peak of Iran. Okay, and we have this big river here. Okay, it's called as River Karun. ये वाला दिख रहा है, river Karun. This is, in general, Iran does not have big rivers. Okay, so River Karun एक important river है, and one more water body देखो आप यहाँ पर. Can you see this water body is called as Lake Urmia? Lake Urmia is one of the very salt, okay, rich lakes of the world. Lake Urmia, Dead Sea, Lake Van, they are very rich in salts. Okay. And do you know Mesopotamia, right? You all know Mesopotamia? Which rivers make up Mesopotamia? Euphrates and Tigris. Okay. And Euphrates, Tigris, both the rivers, they don't drain Iran. यहाँ देखो. This is Tigris north में. This is Euphrates south में. Both of them are rivers of Iraq. They come and drain here. Okay. The two rivers don't drain in Iran. So this is your Mesopotamian civilization ka basin. And both the rivers don't drain. So Iran में जो river है, वो है Karun river. The Karun river is important for Iran. Okay. And not Tigris and Euphrates. How many of you knew the Tigris and Euphrates don't flow through Iran? How many of you knew this? When I discovered and when I was reading, the first time I realized this, I was just so surprised. Like, I always thought Tigris and Euphrates include Iran also. Okay. Yeah. And you know, this place here is very, very important. Have you heard about something, the Iran-Iraq war के बारे में सुना है आपने? The legendary, very old war they have fought. The war was for this area. ये area जो है. This area is the delta called as Shat al-Arab. It's common stream. Euphrates and Tigris, they join and they become one common stream here. This common stream is called as Shat al-Arab. Okay, and no, Utkarsh. No. The Iraq-Iran war is older. ये झगड़ा इसी के लिए. A very, very fertile basin, lot of cultivation, rich areas in terms of fishing. Okay, and both Iran and Iraq historically have claimed this area called as Shat al-Arab. Do you know a city called as Basra? Basra यहीं पर है. Basra is is where this common stream starts. So both the countries have fought, okay, for this Shat al-Arab region. All good here? Elburz, Zagros, countries around Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey, Iraq. Okay, Syria doesn't have a border. Kuwait doesn't have a border. Uzbekistan doesn't have a border. The water bodies are Gulf of Aden, Persian Gulf, and Caspian Sea. Okay, and the mountains, Iran is like a fort. ये दो important, यहाँ पर दो important deserts हैं. Daste Lut and Daste Kavir. The very big deserts. Daste Kavir and Daste Lut. So Iran is like a fort. You can't enter the fort. Iraq, Kaushik, it's part of Iraq. Basra is part of Iraq. ठीक है. So Iran border, Iran's rivers, Karun River. Okay, we move on. आपको बता दिया मैंने लेक उर्मिया. Lake Urmia is again endangered lake है because it's shrinking. It's a salt lake, large salt lake. Caspian Sea, okay, and Lake Hamoon. This is further southwards है, Iran Afghanistan border में है. So there is one a river here called as Helmand River. Okay, Helmand River के पास में यहाँ पर है this lake called as Hamoon. Hamoon, somewhere here. There's a river of Afghanistan called Helmand River. इसी के पास में यहाँ. Okay, so Hamoon River is a seasonal fresh water, and water comes from Helmand River. So ये lakes are endangered lakes. Hamoon River, Urmia Lake, Hamoon Lake, endangered lakes हैं. It's in the Iran-Afghanistan border, fed by Helmand River. I'll come to Afghanistan after this. ठीक है. Now these places news में हैं अभी because of the attacks, nuclear. They had the research centers, reactors. आपको बस Fordo जानना है. Fordo is here. Natanz enrichment. Natanz. So all of these areas have been bombed here. Natanz. Isfahan. Isfahan is here. Okay. And this place is a reactor. It's a nuclear power plant is here. Okay. You can also know this Sagan. This is more of a mining area. By the way, you must look up one video I have already recorded. It's on the YouTube on Iran. Okay, so do have a look on that. Okay, so Fordo, okay, it is an enrichment center. Natanz, also enrichment center. Isfahan, uranium mining center. Bushehr is a nuclear power plant. And Sagan is also a mining center. Have a sense, and this is the Zagros Mountains, and this is the Elburz Mountains. और Tehran एकदम north में है. ठीक है, एक बार सुन लो. So slowly, gradually, you'll start recalling and remembering this also. Okay, some bombings हुआ है. They've destroyed it more or less. Now, Iran में you have this lot of ethnic populations. Okay, so this area, Baluchistan and Sistan, this is one area which has conflicts. Baluchistan, Sistan. Then we have एकदम north में these areas जो yellowish वाले हैं यहाँ पर, these are the Kurdish regions. Kurd region. We have Azeri. These are the Azeri populations. They belong to Azerbaijan ethnicity, Azeri populations. This is the Baloch populations. Okay. So remember these four: Azerbaijan, Azeri. The domination, the main ethnic group are the Persians. Okay. So ये जो green color है largely. Okay. So this is all Persians. They are the dominant population, along with these people called as Gilakis. Okay. So you need to know Kurds. In fact, one of the way forward for, US says so, that they will break up Iran. They'll break up Iran into this part, Azerbaijan, Kurdistan. Okay, the Baluchistan could become, I don't know what they can take it towards. जो ईरान रह जाएगा, वो probably ये part ईरान रह जाएगा. Okay, so that is one of the strategies the US is trying to follow, that split Iran into, smaller countries. याद हुआ आपको? Who are Azeris, Azerbaijan, Iran. Kurd population are in the northwestern side, Kurd are across Iran, Iraq, and Turkey. Iran, Iraq, and Turkey. And Baluchistan, Sistan, ये काफी न्यूज में रहता है. Okay. The ports of Iran. Okay. Bandar Anzali. So what are the ports of Iran along the Caspian Sea? Along the Caspian Sea, Bandar Anzali, Bandar Naushahar, and Bandar Amirabad. We have Bandar Imam Khomeini Port, Bandar Abbas, and Chabahar Port. So if you know about this north-south corridor, it is crossing through Bandar Anzali. What are the main ports of Iran? Anzali, Naushahar, Amirabad, largest port of the Caspian Sea. Okay. Otherwise, the largest port of Iran is Bandar Abbas. Bandar Abbas is at the Strait of Hormuz. It's a सबसे important port. Okay, and we also have Imam Khomeini port further northwards. Okay, Iran, countries surrounding Iran. What are the mountain range of Iran? What are the rivers of Iran? ईरान के न्यूक्लियर फैसिलिटीज कहां पर हैं? ईरान एथनिक पॉपुलेशन क्या क्या है? एंड ईरान स्पोर्ट्स क्या क्या है? Are you good with this, all of you? Are you good with this? Say something. Yes, no, okay, fine. You want some repeat? You want some extra information? Yeah? All good? Am I too fast for you to manage with me? Yeah, the pace is fine. I hope आपको ज्यादा लिखना नहीं पड़ रहा है because it's there on the picture, diagrams. And I said I'll integrate the current affairs with the map work. Anushka, not able to manage pace with me? Preetha? So ask me to repeat, I'll repeat it. बताओ क्या repeat करना है, बोलो. I could go back to the countries around Iran. Okay. The water bodies around Iran. The seas, water bodies. The mountains. Okay. The peak called as the Mawand Peak. The rivers. The lakes of Iran. Lake Hamum and Lake Urmia, both are threatened lakes. The nuclear sites, mining and reactors. Right? The ethnic groups, kahan par ethnic groups hain? Kurds, Azeris, the Persians, the Baluchistan, Baluchis, or bhi hai, but this is a decent range for you to revise from. The ports, okay, here is the ports, Anushka, likho. In Persian, the ports are called as Bandar. हम भी बोलते हैं Bandar, right? India also has Bandar as हिंदी में use करते हैं. So Bandar Anzali, Bandar Naushahar, Bandar Abbas, and Chabahar Port. Chabahar Port is on Gulf of Oman. Look at the location here. Gulf of Oman, Chabahar. ये है the Strait of Hormuz, Bandar Abbas, Persian Gulf, okay, Imam Khomeini, and these are the ports of Caspian Sea. The largest port of Caspian Sea is Amirabad port. ठीक है? चलो, I'm done with Iran. Let me take up now Afghanistan. Let's have a look at Afghanistan quickly. Afghanistan. Okay, so that's a long border with Pakistan. Pakistan के साथ long border here. Okay, Durand line. It has a border with India, a very small part, but POK में चला जा रहा है. India. It has border with China, a very small part with China. ताजिकिस्तान के साथ में गुड बॉर्डर, उज्बेकिस्तान के साथ में बॉर्डर, तुर्कमेनिस्तान बॉर्डर, ईरान बॉर्डर. You need to remember this as a pictorial thing, okay? देखो 5 कंट्रीज में आप मिस्टेक नहीं करोगे. ईरान आपको याद रहेगा, ईरान बॉर्डर. पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर याद रहेगा. इंडिया एज बॉर्डर याद रहेगा. चाइना एज बॉर्डर, okay? And some of you might know Tajikistan also. ये 2 बॉर्डर maybe you do not know. Okay, lot of Afghanistan population has Tajiks. Lot of Afghanistan population has Uzbeks. Okay, Uzbeks ethnic group. Tajikistan, Tajik ethnic group. Okay, so Turkmenistan. Okay, does China have a border with Turkmenistan? Answer is no. Does China have a border with Uzbekistan? कुछ याद आ रहा है आपको चाइना के बॉर्डर के बारे में? चाइना. ये देखो. We wrote something here, right? China does not have a border with Uzbekistan. China doesn't have a border with Turkmenistan. याद आ रहा है? No border here. But then we discussed that for Afghanistan, okay, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan both have a border. And the longest border is with Pakistan. The longest land border of Afghanistan. Okay, let's move on. Pakistan is landlocked and 6 countries. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 countries. It says 6 countries. Maybe it was missing out Pakistan. Sorry, China maybe. Okay, so इसको हम ठीक कर लेंगे. It has border with 7 countries. China. Okay. India छूटा हुआ है. But remember the POK thing. India has a border with Afghanistan. Anybody knows what this strip of land is called? Anybody knows? इसको क्या बोलते हैं? This strip of land? Wakhan corridor. Correct. It's called as the Wakhan corridor. So the Wakhan corridor, okay, it has a border with India, but in the POK. ये Baltistan region है. This area is the Baltistan region. ठीक है? So India को भी add करना है आपको इसमें. The Wakhan corridor. ताजिकिस्तान के साथ है, उज्बेकिस्तान के साथ है, and so on. Okay, the next one. अच्छा, by the way, before I'm moving on, इसमें आप cities देख लो, important cities. Zaranj is important city. Herat is important city. Kandahar is important city. Mazar-e-Sharif is important here. Then we have Jalalabad is here. Kabul is here. 4-5 cities जान लो आप लोग. Okay, Herat is western side. Okay, Kandahar is southern side. Zaranj, the railway line from Chabahar port would reach Zaranj. It would reach Delaram, and from here it goes towards Kabul. The railway line plan. अब तो पता नहीं. Chabahar port is now finally surrendered to Iran, or maybe. Okay, so we do not know what happened to that project now. But otherwise, that railway line was connecting Zaranj, Delaram, and from here it joined Kabul. So these cities आप जानो please, कहाँ पर क्या cities हैं? मज़ार शरीफ is more of Uzbekistan का influence है. Okay, Herat, Iran, Zaranj also Iran, Kandahar more towards Baluchistan, Jalalabad and Kabul. Quickly, आपने all of you, did you jot down the cities, all of you? Important cities. Okay. So now come towards the mountain ranges. Okay, the main mountain range is Hindu Kush, the main range. Okay, the southern part hai, this is more of deserts. Kandahar desert hai, Zaranj. Okay, and we have got two important rivers. एक है Halmand river. ये देखो, this is Halmand river. Halmand river here, and we have river Kabul here. Kabul river and Khyber Pass. ये Kabul river और ये है Helmand. Helmand is a big river. Okay. So Amu Darya north में है. You can see this river called as Amu Darya. यहाँ goes northwards. Amu Darya. Morghab river. You don't need to know all the rivers. Remember this. I think you should know Kabul river, Amu Darya river, and Helmand river. Helmand river is an endoric drainage. You know what is the endoric drainage? What is endoric drainage? Basically, it does not drain into the sea. It has inland drainage. It originates from parts of Hindu Kush highlands, comes down south and loses in the desert regions here. Yeah, something like a river Luni, correct. Helmand river. It does not have the mouth to the sea. Kabul river is part of Indus system. Okay. Afghanistan is landlocked. It depends on Iran and Pakistan for trade corridors. ठीक है? Okay. So Helmand River के बारे में Hindu Kush mountain, it originates across Afghanistan, reaches Sistan basin. It has endoric drainage. And Helmand River के mouth में ये Hamoon lakes हैं. Hamoon, I told you about this one, Iran के side में है. These are salt lakes, the freshwater lakes, not salt lakes, but they are dying. ठीक है? Or dams में you can know Salma Dam. Salma Dam is built with Indian assistance. Okay, the rest is fine. Deserts are largely in south and southwestern part. Northern part is more fertile and agricultural productive. ठीक है? Helmand River. Ethnic groups में, okay, this pinkish color north में जो है ये Uzbeks हैं यहाँ पर. Okay, Uzbeks here. Okay, you have got Tajiks here. Okay, there is this Balochistan. It's a Baloch province नीचे. Balochistan. Now in this map it says Hazaras are here. By the way, this is the biggest group. This is the Pathans. So Pashtun or Pathans are the biggest group. Baluchis are there, Uzbekistan population, there are Turkish populations, and there is Tajik populations. So the three big groups are Pathans or Pashtuns. जो green है, this green is this population called as Hazaras. These are Hazara. And we have Tajiks. Hazaras again have lot of ethnicity conflicts case because Pathans are largely Sunni Muslims, and Hazaras have more of Iranian ancestry, and they are Shia populations. And there's a conflict, Sunni and Shia conflict. Okay, so Hazaras 10-15%, Tajiks 25-30%, Pathans are almost 50% of population are. So Talibans are Pathans. The Taliban, they're Pathans. Okay, all of you. प्रीथा, ये क्या क्वेश्चन था आपका? This is Morghab River. Goes northward is Morghab, Turkmenistan. You can ignore it. Focus on Amu Darya. Amu Darya. Where does Amu Darya drain? Do you know this? Do you know where Amu Darya River drains? Amu Darya River drains into an inland sea called as Aral Sea. Correct. Amu Darya drains into Aral Sea. Yeah. Okay, let's come back. So I'm done with the ethnic populations. Okay, Hazaras, Pathans, and Tajiks. Now, बहुत न्यूज में रहता है this area called as Panjshir Valley. Panjshir Valley is a small region which has more of Tajik population. And it's like a fortress. And Tajik fight the Talibans. The Panjshir Valley is in news. Yes, correct. I said, no, I'm integrating current affairs while I'm teaching you these maps and locations. Okay? So Panjshir Valley is somewhere here. You can think of this one here. Helmand province south में है. Okay. Now earthquakes काफी न्यूज में रहते हैं. Okay, earthquakes. हेरात में earthquakes हैं. Earthquakes Hindu Kush region में Khost earthquake. Hindu Kush. This belt is the most frequent belt of earthquakes because this is a fold mountain. और यही continues further like this. यहाँ पे कुछ faults हैं. They also cause earthquakes. Okay, so Herat देख लो. Herat is further westwards, extensions of Hindu Kush. Hindu Kush mountains and extensions of this mountains as Herat. Now this is the golden crescent, जो opium production infamous है. It includes Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran. Okay, this is the golden crescent. Afghanistan produces the bulk of opium. Okay. Helmand region is one of the largest opium producing regions. Helmand. Kandahar also produces opium. Okay. So that's about Afghanistan.
Am I audible to all of you? Am I audible to all of you? Yeah? YouTube में, am I audible? So that completes Afghanistan. Okay, the rivers, mountains, cities, the important ethnic populations. Okay, I can continue. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah, tell me. So we continue. The next we take up is West Asia. The next is West Asia. Are you all getting tired or something? So I know it's 2 hours, but I would like to continue for some time more. We have some targets to achieve. All tired? No? Continue? Yes, Pritha, Dhyanada, Sachin, Anushka. Continue, Sachin. And YouTube guys, are you tiring out or good to go? The West Asia. Okay, I've done Iran. I did Afghanistan. Okay, now I'm doing West Asia. Now West Asia, थोड़ा सा ध्यान से देखो. Okay, this is going to be important for all of you. Look at it carefully. Okay. So West Asia, mein, you see these two big countries, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and also Turkey. Turkey extensions of West Asia hai, but pretty big country. Okay. So that's one. Water bodies, okay, के साथ तो करेंगे हम बाद में first. Okay. You can't make mistake with Yemen. Yemen, okay, is on the western side. Okay, the capital is Sana'a. The big port is Aden. Oman, capital is Muscat. So the southern part, this is the Arabian Peninsula, right? So Sana'a is the capital. Aden is the big port. Gulf of Aden mein. So you know Gulf of Aden. You have Gulf of Aden, and you have the city called Aden. Oman, Muscat. Now three small countries. Okay, one is UAE, one is Qatar, and one is Bahrain. Bahrain is a small island. Okay. So Arabian Peninsula makes up what countries? Yemen, southwest mein, Oman, southeast mein. Okay, we have UAE, Qatar. Qatar is a projection here. Okay, Qatar, and a small island called as Bahrain. Capital is Manama. इसके अलावा we also have Kuwait. Remember, Kuwait does not share a border with Iran. Kuwait, Iraq, okay, Jordan, Israel, Lebanon, Syria. Okay, Lebanon, Israel, Syria. And इसका extension, this is Egypt. Okay. So this is what makes up the Arabian Peninsula. Turkey is not Arabian Peninsula. Turkey is essentially what's also called as Anatolia. And these three countries, they're called as Caucasus countries. If you remember this mnemonic GAZ, G-A-Z, लेफ्ट में जॉर्जिया है, बीच में ए आर्मेनिया है, जॉर्जिया, आर्मेनिया, and Z I remember as Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan has a coast on Caspian Sea. Georgia has a coast on Black Sea. बीच में आर्मेनिया है. Okay. Azerbaijan and Armenia both share a border with Iran. Georgia does not have a border with Iran. Okay. So what makes up the Middle East is this area. Okay. So Iran, big country. Okay. Saudi Arabia, big country. Turkey. The three big ones. Iraq बीच में है. Okay. Yemen on the southwest side. Oman on the southeast side. Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Bahrain. Okay. Along the Mediterranean side, okay, if you remember SLI, okay, or south to north, okay, SLI, Syria north में है, then you have got Lebanon, then you have got Israel, okay, और बीच में Jordan. So if you recall the countries, watch here, okay, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. Then we talked about Yemen, Oman, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain. We talked about, okay, SLI, Syria, Lebanon, and Israel. To this we added Jordan, we added Iraq. कुछ छूटा बताओ? Did I leave something? All countries taken care? I forgot, yes. I have left Kuwait. No, Gaz is not Arab. वो दिखा दिया मैंने, but Gaz is not Arab. Gaz is called as Caucasus countries. Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. Yeah, Arab, Iran Arab नहीं है, but Iran West Asia है. Iran is Middle East. Okay, Gaz is neither Arab nor Middle East. इसको हम Caucasus countries बोलते हैं, Gaz. Egypt, okay, you can add Egypt. Okay, but Egypt ka Sinai Peninsula only, not entire. Entire Egypt is not, Egypt is African. Okay, but you can add Sinai Peninsula, part of Egypt. So this triangle is called as the Sinai Peninsula. Country-wise, I think I have covered all the countries. Yaad raha aapko, all of you? Which country has which borders? What you must note is, okay, Jordan ka border. Jordan has a border with Syria, with Israel, okay, and with Saudi Arabia. Jordan does not have a border with Lebanon. Okay, Kuwait doesn't have a border with Iran. Syria also not with Iran. Okay, some of those kinds. Okay. Now, sorry. Now, if you look at the seas, okay, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, Iran, like Iran, Israel, Egypt. These countries have, okay, borders on more than one seas. जैसे यमन का जो बॉर्डर है गल्फ ऑफ एडन में है और रेड सी में है. इन रेड सी प्लस गल्फ ऑफ एडन. ओमान अरेबियन सी में है और गल्फ ऑफ ओमान में है. अरेबियन सी एंड गल्फ ऑफ ओमान. ईरान, it has Gulf of Oman. It also has Caspian Sea. Israel has a coast along what's called as the Gulf of Aqaba plus the Mediterranean Sea. Egypt has a coast along the Gulf of Suez, Gulf of Aqaba, coast of Red Sea, and also Mediterranean Sea. And Saudi Arabia has coast on Red Sea plus Persian Gulf. Saudi Arabia does not have a coast with Gulf of Aden. See, you can't by heart this. I repeat. These type of discussions is what makes you familiar with the maps. इसको रट्टा नहीं मार सकते आप. You can't memorize it. So it's like pictorial thing. Oh, okay, I'm observing that Saudi Arabia does not have a coast with Gulf of Aden. Okay, Saudi Arabia northwards hai, it has entirely Red Sea or Persian Gulf. Okay, Oman does not have a coast with Gulf of Aden. Okay, Kuwait has a coast only in Persian Gulf. Iraq has a coast only with Persian Gulf. UAE, okay, coast only with Persian Gulf. In fact, I'm not wrong if I say Oman also has a coast with Persian Gulf. Yes, correct. You are right, Batsala. Saudi Arabia also has a coast with Gulf of Aqaba. This water body here is called as the Gulf of Aqaba. This water body here. Okay. And this water body here is called as the Gulf of Suez. Gulf of Aqaba. Have you heard about a Saudi Arabian project called as NEOM? सुना है आपने? NEOM. Have you heard of a project called as NEOM project? NEOM project यही वाला तो एरिया है. यहीं पर है NEOM. NEOM has a coast with Gulf of Aqaba. NEOM line is called the line. वो NEOM का पार्ट है, is called as the line. East west. हम दिखा देंगे आपको. I'll show that to you. You have some sense of the place now, all of you? You have the location awareness now. किसके साथ border है, किसके साथ border नहीं है. And you must write down this point. That's important. If you do not write the points, you'll forget. ठीक है? I can move on. Okay. So we'll come back on this afterwards. Now, a bit of this conflict area of Israel and the rest. Okay. So Israel is this. ये वाला part जो है. Okay, I'm exaggerating here. Okay. So this is Israel, something like this. इजराइल है। इजराइल, दिस पार्ट इज द वेस्ट बैंक, ये वेस्ट बैंक है। दिस पार्ट इज सीरिया एंड दिस पार्ट इज लेबनन। ओके, और ये है जॉर्डन। जॉर्डन इज अ वेरी बिग कंट्री but a very, very small coast here. Okay. So I said SLE, Syria, Lebanon, Israel. Like this. Then you have Jordan. Jordan does not have a border with Lebanon. Jordan has borders with, okay, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Syria. Okay. So this you note down somewhere, or maybe quickly sketch this part. Sketch कर लोगे तो याद हो जाएगा आपको। ठीक है। Okay. So Israel. Okay. So you see where West Bank is. West Bank is like this shape. ये West Bank है. West Bank because there is a river here. Okay, ये river है. It's called as Jordan River. Jordan River के west में है. Okay. So this is that big Dead Sea. The Jordan River drains into Dead Sea. West Bank, and this is Gaza. Gaza. The Negev desert is ये, this southern part is all desert of Israel. ये सब desert of Israel है. The Negev. ठीक है, all of you. Jordan, what about it? बताओ, Jordan कुछ मिस हुआ आपका सचिन? Jordan has coast on what? Has border with what? Jordan has a border with Saudi Arabia. It has a border with Israel. It has a border with Syria. Okay. Yeah. And Iraq. Jordan has a border with Saudi Arabia, with Israel. Okay. It has a border with Syria, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. It does not have a border with Lebanon. अच्छा, okay, okay. ठीक ठीक, River Jordan. Okay. Now, ये कुछ cities हैं. Okay. They are in news. Khan Yunus, Gaza as a city, Rafah as a city or town, whatever. ये न्यूज में रहते हैं. Tel Aviv, a port called Haifa port. Okay. There's a port down south called as Eilat. 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 Place called, okay, Jericho. The place called Hebron, Bethlehem, Jerusalem, Ramallah. Okay. Look at the location of Amman, capital of Jordan, location of Damascus. Okay. So make a list, all of you. Make a list of, okay, the places. So Israel mein, what are the cities you must know? Israel, you must know Tel Aviv. You must know Haifa. Haifa is a very large port on the Mediterranean, Haifa. Another small port है called as Eilat. Eilat south में है. यहाँ देखो, this is Eilat here. Israel का port. This Eilat port is on the Gulf of Aqaba. Gulf of Aqaba has Eilat. Haifa is on the Mediterranean Sea. Haifa port is north. This is Haifa port. Haifa port और साउथ में देखेंगे आप, it is Eilat here. These are important places of Israel. What are the important places in Gaza? ये सब refugee camps हैं. Khan Yunis is one important refugee camp. We have Rafah as a refugee camp. Know these places? What are the places in the West Bank? अरे क्या हो गया? Yeah. What are the places in the West Bank? West Bank has Jericho. West Bank has Bethlehem. It has Jerusalem, East Jerusalem. West Bank has, Ramallah. How I wished Ramallah was in India, we would have less conflicts. Yes, Utkarsh. Ramallah is the seat of the Palestine government, correct. It has a place called Hebron. नोट कर लिया आपने? And also know the location of Damascus. Damascus is capital of Syria. And Amman. Amman is capital of Jordan. Take all of you. All done? Now look at the location of Golan Heights. Golan Heights, okay, so if you look at the previous map here, sorry. Okay, so ये वाला part, somewhere here, this part here. This is Golan Heights. It's a mountain area. Golan Heights is a source of River Jordan. Okay, and Golan Heights belong to Syria. Now again, Israel has captured it. The war that they had right now, because Golan Heights. This is Golan Heights. Golan Heights say River Jordan emerges. We have the Sea of Galilee first. Then it goes down. Sea of Galilee is here. Golan Height is here. Then it goes down. This is the Dead Sea. ठीक है, all of you? यहाँ तक ठीक है, all of you? Okay. We move on. About Lebanon. Lebanon, okay. Capital is Beirut. Beirut. Okay. This Bekaa Valley is very important. Bekaa Valley, Lebanon में है. Lebanon Mountains. Okay. There's the Bekaa Valley. एक ऊपर में है और एक रिवर नीचे है called Litani River. Okay. And this south में was Golan Heights of Syria. So remember Bekaa Valley. Bekaa Valley is drained by a river called as Orontos River. Or simply some books said as Bekaa River also. ठीक है? So Lebanon, Beirut capital. Beirut is the port. And Bekaa Valley. So we have Mount Lebanon near the Median coast. एक anti-Lebanon range भी है. Bekaa Valley is a very fertile intermontane valley between Mount Lebanon and anti-Lebanon. A very narrow strip of land along the Mediterranean Sea. Litani River. Orontos River, it flows through the Bekaa Valley. Okay, so these are some facts about Lebanon. बाकी रेनफॉल है नहीं है, we don't need so much. Okay, this also you can skip, not required as much. Okay. These I have just added for sake of some details, but you can ignore these. Yeah, I think I'm done with this area largely. Okay. Now come to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, I said it has coast on Persian Gulf, coast on Red Sea. It also has a coast along Gulf of Aqaba. This is the Gulf of Aqaba. Okay. So remember Riyadh. Riyadh is somewhere here. East Central में Riyadh है. Ad-Dammam is a very important oil well refineries. Ad-Dammam. Jeddah is a port along Red Sea. Okay. Tabuk. Did you hear about this snowfall recently? वो Tabuk में हुआ है. The region of Tabuk. ठीक है. Mecca and Medina. Saudi Arabia has a large desert, south में called as Rub al-Khali Desert, is the largest sandy desert. Yeah, and ऊपर में you have another desert called as An-Nafud. An-Nafud भी एक desert है. Okay. Yes, Sachin. So this western side ये पूरा mountains है. It's a mountain. Mountains called as Hejaz Mountains. Hejaz Mountains and Asir Mountains. और इसके हिल में तबुक है. तबुक is the hill station types on Hejaz and Asir Mountains. ठीक है. Saudi Arabia, bordering countries of Saudi Arabia, नीचे Yemen, Oman, UAE, Qatar, you have Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan. Okay, so look at the countries: Jordan, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, Oman, Yemen. Okay, it has. Okay, Bab al-Mandab is not along the Saudi Arabia coast. I hope you know this is called as Bab al-Mandab. Ye wala. This passage is called as Bab al-Mandab. Bab al-Mandab is controlled by Djibouti. You have got small country here, Djibouti, and you have Yemen. This area has Houthis. Okay. So Saudi Arabia, the water bodies are Red Sea and Persian Gulf and Gulf of Aqaba. Okay. Gulf of Aqaba, Persian Gulf, and Red Sea for Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia does not have, I repeat, okay, a coast along neither Bab al-Mandab nor Strait of Hormuz. These are those, questions where you get stumped. Okay. Saudi Arabia does not control or does not have coast along Strait of Hormuz, and neither does it have control over the Bab al-Mandab. But it has the longer coastline along Red Sea and along Persian Gulf. Okay. So I've talked about Hejaz Mountains, Asir Mountains. You can leave Nast Plateau. Rub al-Khali, An-Nafud. Yeah, you can leave the rest. And there are no permanent rivers in Saudi Arabia. A question the last year, Red Sea receives very little precipitation of any form. No water enters the Red Sea from the rivers. This was statement 1. and this was statement 2. Okay, the answer is correct. Very less rainfall is correct, and almost no water. There are very small streams is as good as no rivers. In general, you can say that small rivers maybe, but otherwise no proper river from Red Sea, small streams. This was asked in 2025. Red Sea is a very saline water because no fresh water addition. Okay. So you wanted to know where Houthis are. This is where the Houthis are. And Saudi Arabia mein, this map will tell you better. This green is Houthi control. And these patches are Al-Qaeda. But this is where we have Houthis. Western Yemen. Houthis therefore have influence on Bab al-Mandab and Red Sea. So this was a bit detailed one here. We have Gulf of Aqaba. I was telling about this one. This is the Sinai Peninsula. This port here is the Aqaba port of Jordan. This port is the Eilat port of Israel. ये Gulf of Aqaba है. There are some islands here called as Tiran Islands, Safir Islands. Okay, and this is that NEOM project. NEOM project में ये line है. All fine. This is a very important project developed हो रहा है as a part of Saudi Arabia's vision of development. And remember this area. This is a troubled area called as Najran. Najran is a part of Saudi Arabia, but with Yemen, they have, this is a conflict area. So they do ask, what are the conflict areas? कहाँ पर है? Okay, it's a popular question. Conflict areas, okay, Najran, conflict areas, Kurd region, conflict areas, the Helmand province of Afghanistan, conflicts along the Dangrek mountains, Thailand and Cambodia ka border. Okay, so remember this area called Najran. Najran, Saudi area, Yemen border, conflict areas. So of the commitment we had, I could cover Southeast Asia, China, we covered Central Asia, part of Afghanistan, Iran, and West Asia. I had thought of covering some parts of Africa also, but it looks difficult now. Yeah. You think this will help you in your maps now? No, Kaushik. Jordan River drains into Dead Sea. It does not reach the Red Sea. Yes, Pritha. All those enrolled students will get these maps. Yes, along with the write-ups, whatever we have, we'll give you. We'll take some time, maybe by tomorrow we'll share this. बता और क्या जानना चाह रहे हो? Your next class is on 30th. Okay? Yeah, I can go on for another half an hour also, but I think some of you have tired off now. Because evaporation ज़्यादा है, Utkarsh. Not of evaporation, dry conditions. Vikrant, you have the entire detail, right? I have shared with you earlier also. What does the course have? Okay, I think you missed that part here. Let me show it to you again. So we'll have mapping. ये mapping वाला part है. Okay. Then we have mountains, earthquakes, Caribbean islands, straits, rivers. We also have readings on climatology, oceanography, Indian climate, rock and weathering, Indian resources. I'm integrating maps. विक्रांत, ठीक है? Okay, then we stop here today. Next class, I'll try to finish Africa along with Latin America and the rest. Yeah, so today's class, I had put it on the YouTube so that all of you can participate and see what we are doing. And if you think it helps you, you can always enroll with us. Yes, Dhyanada, you'll have to do that. Otherwise, you can tell me what else you want. I think be patient. Once I finish off this 15 days of class, then you can tell me if there is something more I can add. Okay, geography mein maps is almost 50% of the questions. If you know the maps well, prelims आपका answer हो जाएगा. And while discussing, okay, the maps, I'm telling you some background stories also, wherever required. ठीक है? So that's it, all of you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you can enroll and we can sit and study together. So you revise. We'll join again on 30th then. Okay then. Bye-bye all of you.